If you're a respectable person, that will take you so far because people remember a person that's respectable.
Take the baby steps to just set up your business, get the documents you need, get the things in order slowly until you're ready to really say, I no longer need my 9 to 5.
You good.
A business plan. A business plan is key. The point is not for us to have a business and just only be in that business, because then you might as well just work a 9 to 5.
This motivation. Suck, get on your job. If you hate, get on your job. You can look me in my eyes, see I'm ready for whatever. Anything don't kill me, make me better.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another episode of Likeable Figgas. You're now rocking with your boy, Major Walla, and today I got a very special guest. In 2020, my objective was to get inside those rooms, get inside the big rooms to get the most information and meet the most amazing people I can meet. So this was someone that was also part of a mentorship I joined and instantly became one of the leaders of the mentorship. You know how you sit back and see who's gonna rise to the top? This person ended up started a whole nother group outside the mentorship group that was basically, hey, you gonna do this or you gonna get gone. You gonna be about what we about, or you gonna have to move along because everyone here's got objectives that they trying to accomplish and trying to get to the next level. And if you ain't about that, you basically dead weight. So, but I like the way that she basically handled her business and the way she go about things and the way that how she was real deal, pinpoint accurate with most things that I seen that she was doing. But I want to introduce y'all to Shanice. Shanice, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Hi, good evening, everyone, or good morning, or wherever side of the world you on watching. My name is Shanice. I own a organization. Our name is Axel Solutions. So we started off in 2020. I am the CEO and founder of Axel Solutions. I started off in the mentorship, just like Major said, and I was on it. I was one of the people who were definitely on it. I wanted to know everything. I wanted to be in the rooms. I wanted to know what information that could better serve and help us all in the group and like really propel us to, get the job done. And we already had an objective, and I wanted to be sure that we were all set focused on what we really wanted to accomplish. Definitely over for the course of 2 years, things have made a slow change and turn around, and I've repositioned myself in different areas as time went on, but it's still a light at the tunnel for, the bigger picture. Sometimes you just got to really step back and look at what you're doing at a more close-knit point in life, and really refocus on certain things. But I'm still here. I'm still working. I'm still progressing. And I'm thankful for the family I have within, the mentorship that I have. I met some real genuine and beautiful connections with people. We still stay connected to this day. I might be a little bit more quiet, but we're still connected to this day. So I'm really blessed and favored and grateful for these people that I've been surrounded by and, have been introduced to since I started.
So, Shanice, what we doing like with figures, basically we want to get inside the brain and basically inspire that person that's coming up either behind us or ahead of us that's basically either stalling or don't believe in themselves or thinking that they're the only person in the situation that they're going through. So letting your story be heard so someone else could be inspired by it or get your thoughts and let people hear how you see and think about things. I want to start out by asking you, like how would you define entrepreneurship?
Entrepreneurship. Well, my first words to come to it, it's a lot. Right, it is a lot. But to the person who wants to take it as a lot or perceive it as a lot, it really will become a lot to you. But truthfully, making those right decisions and networking with people can truly open up the doors that can lead you in the right path to really grow what you want to do as an entrepreneur. I've came across so many people and, on my own personal research and really talking with people even within my community, a lot of them start their businesses, but they don't ask for help. Man, one of the common factors I've found and heard people say is, they don't have access to resources. And sometimes it could just be, Googling at your local library, or if you have a phone or whatever it is, and hopefully we all have access to Wi-Fi and technology. If there's something you're looking for to create, what is it that you want to create, and just searching how to start this.
Yeah, because the information is out there. Anything you want to learn is at our thumb tips now. It's really ain't no excuse. Only excuse now is you doubting yourself. That's how I look at it. The belief in yourself is the first thing that has to come. For any industry that you're going down, you're going to come to that part where it's going to get hard. It's going to get hard and it's going to get uncomfortable. And if you don't have that belief in yourself or knowing that it's possible to accomplish it, you're going to stop. And if you don't love what you're doing, you got to have a passion about the industry that you're going down. I would say, it's going to take that love when you ain't producing dollars. When you're in the learning phase and you're trying to learn the industry, if you're not producing dollars and you don't love it, you're going to stop. It's 100% chance that you're going to stop. So you need to love what you're trying to do, what you're trying to get into. So when you started Axle Solution, what was the one thing that you would say inspired you to start it? And tell the people a little bit about what is Axle Solution.
So what inspired me a couple years ago, I knew a little bit about credit, and I had like a really nice conversation with a gentleman that was selling me a car, obviously, and he just really informed me to say, you're starting out your credit journey. You don't have anything negative on your accounts right now, so just make sure over time, you continue to just pay your bills on time. And that was always the biggest factor with me, making sure I was paying my bills on time with my first car, and paying my, insurance. And I just kept that up over the years. And then I got like one or two small like store cards and I think like one credit card at that point, but I didn't really like truthfully invest in credit how I did when I did within a couple of years. And when I thought about Axle Solutions, I thought of it more of as a foundation to say I want to create a organization or my own company that not only will give these different areas in supplying a service for people and their needs, but I wanted to be able to not only just provide a service, but to be able to teach people, because I was realizing how important the knowledge of credit was and what information was being lacked with people. And there's still a lot of information out there people might misinterpret, and the information is there. It's just really knowing exactly where to look and just having that ability to just read and really comprehend. Sometimes you just don't want to take everybody's word for it, but you really want to do your own form of research, But I came about my company when I really decided to take more of that step towards building my own credit and really taking advantage of what I knew what was out there and really saying like, I want access to, free flights, free groceries. How can I build up reward points? How can I monetize and use other people's money for my future endeavors and everything else? And I've learned so much and how point system works, how, really using other people's monies between business operations and separating actually, your business and personal, and not commingling those funds together and just really growing. Again, there's still a lot of pieces to it, but it's a work in progress. You never want to really rush those processes. You want to take your time and really build, So when I created my business, unique name as it is, I just said I wanted something different. I don't want to necessarily make it something with my name, but I said, this is going to be my foundation of my company, and then whatever else comes will come underneath it.
Yeah, so that's what's up. So that's where axle come in, like it's like the axle of the car. Oh, that's what's up. That's clever to think about it that way. So that's what's up. I think I want to ask you because the mentorship that we joined, it's called Recession Proof, and like for me, I would say I joined several mentorships, and for as structuring a business and becoming financial literate, I would say recession proof is just the top of his class if you ask me. What is your views about it? How do you feel about recession proof? Because I think it's amazing, because I was glad I met all of y'all, like for real. No.
Recession proof, I can definitely say for when I started to now, and even just looking at recession proof, it's given so much opportunity to us as a community, because everybody got to think of it like you might duplicate a business, but there's not a you. And at the end of the day, you can live in Mississippi, you could live in New York, you could live in California, wherever you are, but there's not a you. You have your own personal touch to your business, and really recession proof allow all of us to really, no matter what it was, if we all started to create the same business,
Yeah.
it allowed all of us to put our own personal touch and teach communities that tuned into us as a whole. And really, there were so many other people that poured into us within our recession proof community. Like you said, I got into other mentorships from those people too.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just so much more information because, you started to dive into other people who were in their profession, who were in that other profession. And you're just like, wow, there's just so much more opportunities out there.
Exactly. Like, because when we walked in the conference that was in Miami,
Mm-hmm.
when we first walked in that conference, and I seen that it was 5,000 Black Americans, people in one room that are focused on getting to the next level. No matter what industry were they in to try to get them now, everyone was focused on getting to that next level. And it just blew me away to see that. Since you decided to start your own business and basically focus on leveling your life up to the next level, what priorities do you have, and if they changed, in what way did they change?
So before I created my business, I had no mindset of creating nothing. I'm like, and whatever, that'll come later on in life, and I just was like, whatever happens. I just started to really dig in more about how, like I said earlier, there's not a me, and the people who follow me, that's like my community. And those that, follow them, that's their community. So that kind of each one teach one sort of thing led me to realize, like, I could do this responsibility. If I'm full enough to truly take from what I learn and teach others, that it could reciprocate to other people and they're able to teach others, obviously. From when I started, I definitely took the ground running, created my business. I did actually, within a year and a half, I slowed down a lot because I was in a transition with school. And I really decided to say, well, since my focus isn't on healthcare, and my business is solely, its focuses on drug testing. My career right now is is as a nursing home administrator. So right now, my career focus shifted to making sure that I understand the business aspect of like a nursing home and everything else, and understanding how maybe a clinic could help in its future endeavors. Because I wouldn't mind building in like my own personal clinic into a nursing home, or partnering with somewhere or someone to build in my business as a partnership. Because the place I enter now, there's about 2 other people who own the business and they're partnered inside the nursing home as a business, So I see that as like a plus. If I can create something and, partner with the facility to, be able to help it, I don't see why not. So I did take a little shift there. I stepped back from the business side a bit, which is nothing wrong.
Ain't that the wrong with it? It's a great technique or tactic to have to learn. Like, I'm gonna go to this career and figure out the ins and outs of it so I can know how to run it. Even though you're getting paid, you can still look at that like a mentorship because it's teaching you how to run that business once you start it for yourself.
And I never want anybody to think, like, I definitely heard so much people tell people during like COVID, quit your 9 to 5, quit your 9 to 5. This and that. Don't do that. You got to have some monies in your pocket in order to propel you off the ground. Take the baby steps to just set up your business, get the, documents you need, get the things in order slowly until you're ready to really say, I no longer need my 9 to 5, especially once you start to produce an actual income for your business, and you're getting the numbers and the target audiences you need to reach. Then you can say, I don't need my 9 to 5 anymore because now my 9 to 5 is being transitioned into my actual business. That leap in that transition is something, like I mentioned, it is a lot, but you really have to be dedicated. And like you said, love what you're doing in order to really change from that. Because having a 9 to 5, you're in a quadrant of being a sole entrepreneur. And most people, they want to take themselves they look at an entrepreneur, they want to take themselves out of that tax bracket and become more of like a CEO, those people who are investing and giving people those 9 to 5 jobs or putting people in the positions. So when we work in the transition from those things, we got to learn how to really network and build within our business and realize the point is not for us to have a business and just only be in that business, because then you might as well just work the 9 to 5. The point is for you to grow. And then once you grow, you're able to, have people work for you. And then now you can build outside of that. And now you can take a step back and say, well, I got a, full-fledged company of 50, 100, 200 people. I bought back my time. Now you handling big big dollar bills, and you in those tax brackets that you're like, wow, I could get those tax cuts. Nobody don't like Donald Trump, but getting Donald Trump.
You don't like Trump? You don't like Trump? I like Trump.
No political gain on here, but
I like Trump, man. Hey, he go off the wall sometimes, but
yeah,
like for as like you say, business wise, I mean, I don't look at no better businessman to learn from than someone that they get mad at him because he basically beat the system, or however you want to look at it. But he all right.
I said you got to be strategic about how you do.
Yeah,
stuff.
that's another thing with the 9 to 5. Like, be strategic. Like, because some people look at Instagram entrepreneurs and they make it look like it's just the simplest thing. Like, I can start this today and I'll be making $1 million tomorrow. It don't work like that. Especially if you don't have no money put up, you don't have nothing to provide your lifestyle. Hey, I tell any person, hey man, learn how to make that 9 to 5 support the business that you're trying to create. The business, because that's what you need to use, because those are the steps. And once the business start able to provide that same lifestyle, now that's when you can step away and just solely focus on building your business. So since when you started out in the beginning, and now that now, is it in the mistakes that you made in the beginning that you look at back and say, I know better now, I would have done this a lot different? What is some of those mistakes that you made that you'll do a lot different right now?
In the beginning of creating my business, I would have definitely dug a little bit deeper and getting a business mentor. A lot of us focus on really supporting us, so really having a true business mentor within the community or an agency, because I know there's a Urban League that does like business development, and there's like a woman business center. The director there, she's Black, and she's helped me navigate with other individuals and people. And one of my great close friends that I know, she's worked so close with other people in the community in different business aspects that it's tying more of a community in and seeing what resources we could reach. So if it's one thing I say, I wish I would have done this better. If I would have known a lot earlier, it would be that piece, really getting a business mentor who went through that full process, because social media again could play a lot of influence on people, and it's okay, but it's not okay to an extent when you just listening and not doing the research yourself and really trying to look within your community and what's around you, because there are resources again there. You just have to really look for it and reach out. That key piece of really communicating and reaching out and networking with people is very important. And another thing I would say, if you really, I guess I don't want to dictate between if you're really super young or anything like that, but say if you were, super young and you starting off and you want to do a business and you were truly dedicated to really doing a business, try to get that experience. Because I've learned from others apparently that, a certain point in whenever you comes to investing or wanting monies for business, they're going to look for like that background to say like, have you done this kind of work before? Like, what research and knowledge can you bring to help them to be able to fund you? And even if you haven't, I've heard other success stories from other people who have never been in the business, but they've done their in-depth research in and out of that industry to, say, in their business plan, what they're looking for, how to develop it. And they've, got the monies they've reached. And one last take.
No, you're good.
A business plan. A business plan is key. Create your LLC, then go into your business plan, because your your business plan is your foundation. Your legal documents are your foundation to protect you. You know, getting those free resources, because there are free resources out there and free people that can help you, like a SCORE mentor. The SBA has great hubs set up around different states. They'll help navigate you. You know, they'll help navigate you and point you to the right people and direction to set your business up accordingly how you need to set it up with your state. So those are definitely three things I would say.
Hey, we have, it's not called Urban League down here. It's called it's actually called the Small Business Development Center. And you can go in there, and the center that we got, they got agents where an agent will sit down and help you create your business plan. Like, will help you sit down and go over and show you how to get your LLC. And not, like you say, all these are things of free resources. I don't think they might not pay for it to get it, but they'll show you the directions of how to attain it. So, like she say, try to exhaust all the free resources that you can before you listen to the Instagram guru, because those people, you want to make sure you do your homework. Are good mentorships and good courses out there, but it's a lot of fluff too. So before you go out there and just spend money thinking that you're trying to create a faster route to success, do your research on whatever you're spending money on, especially if you ain't got the money to lose like that. You want to make sure you do your research on it so you are spending money with a strategic plan instead of just going out there with your eyes closed. So when you started Axel Solutions and you're going into the healthcare industry, when someone looks at your company, what is that one unique factor you want someone to see?
Good question. It would have to be customer satisfaction, and the quality of service is ideal. We can all have a business. We can all, you know, supply services and goods for people. But the biggest thing when it comes to having people come back to you, which would be marketing, obviously marketing, and your customer service and how you react with your target audience, right? I'm being real, but some people just don't have business etiquette, and some people just don't know how to talk to people. And truthfully, if you got to take a business one-on-one class, a business etiquette class, how to be a leadership class, you got to learn how to ground yourself and be better with how, you know, you conduct and respond to people. And just because we brothers and sisters and aunties and nephews and nieces, don't mean I'm gonna cut you a discount every time that's going on, because if the next group of people ain't doing it, we're not doing it. The price is the price. And people just got to be grounded on what they, you know, their values and worth are when it comes to running a business and what you believe. You can always start out small in your projections, but you can always grow from there. There's nothing wrong with projecting large amounts of money for you. You're manifesting what you want in life, and your goal is to go towards it. So it's nothing wrong with you want to have, you know, $10,000 months, $20,000 months, and making $1 million a year. It's doable. Whatever you foresee for your future is doable. You just have to be dedicated. You know, you have to be patient, and not everything is shortcoming. You know, your path is your path, and whatever you do for you is for you. And God's going to continue to bless you for whatever it is, as long as you stay whole to whatever you got going on. But definitely making sure you know how to communicate with people, treat people with kindness, even though sometimes people may do you wrong. Business partners or people in general.
Clients and whatever, like, most definitely. Like they say, it's an old saying in everyone's head: the customer is always right. Think about it, the customer and client, they already have that mindset anyway. They got the mindset that they right. So they basically gonna try to tell you how you should run your business and what you should charge them. Believe it or not. And you're going to have to be able to stay level-headed and stay respectable in the course of disagreeing with someone. Learn how to stay at that even keel and still be a likable person, even if you are disagreeing with a person. Yes, that person is only one client and one customer, but that person is still a network to every other person that's in that person's vicinity. So it's basically how good you do business with them on how good they're going to reference you to their friends and family. Like, one customer can bring in 10s and 20s and 30s more customers from one customer just because on how big their network is. And you never know who they may recommend your services to that have a bigger audience than what they have. If you're a respected person, that will take you so far, because people remember a person that's respectful. They remember it makes a good impression, especially when you only got a small sample size to make an impression on someone. The way you communicate with the client and the customers is should be the number one thing when once you start out if you have a service-based business.
And also holding true to your word.
Yes.
I've learned even in my transition piece with some of the other folks that I talk with on the business side, they look at it as a trust factor. You want to be trustworthy. You want to be able to really provide services to people. So you want to hold yourself at an ethical manner, that you're being honest and that you can deliver to people. You don't want to let people down. And even if certain things come up, you want to make sure that you're communicating with people again, just to let them know something may happen or whatever the case may be. But again, do it in a respectful way that people will understand it, because everybody has lives. And definitely
People don't play by their money. If they
yeah,
spend money with you, they don't play by that. So
definitely don't.
you know what I'm saying? But that leads into my next question, basically, because it's that one person that's out there that's trying to go the entrepreneurship route or trying or in that career that they're learning about to say, oh, I want to start this business for myself. To that person, like, what is some simple advice, strategic advice would you give a person that's trying to start out?
The first and foremost thing I would say, do your research. Do your research, whether it's book research, Googling, finding somebody in the community that does that same exact thing, it don't matter what it is, and ask questions. No question is a dumb question. You're probing and asking because you want to find out, and you never know what that person or company or whomever may say to you that may spark something in you to say like, okay, I can do this, or the way this person might have done something could be completely different and tweak. Again, you can always change something because it's going to be your business. I look at it in the perspective of when you be very observant when you're becoming an entrepreneur. Definitely doing your research, like I mentioned. So do your research, really network, be vigilant and observant what you're getting into. And again, don't be afraid to ask questions.
Fact. You tell the people about mentorships and you say, oh, this person has a mentorship, and they look at a dollar factor saying that, oh, it costs that much. I can never see myself paying a person that much. When you buy these mentorships, and don't look at it like you paying one person. That person has a audience, a network of individuals that have brains in their head also. And guess what? They learn things that you haven't learned yet. So, yes, you paid one person, but the access that you get to all these people that gives you, oh no, don't do that. I did that. It didn't work. You should do it this way. Those little tidbits of information works wonders when you're trying to build your business because it eliminates mistakes. They eliminates unnecessary steps that you was planning on to take. But if someone already took that step or applied for that type of credit card, they got all the ins and outs of it already. So they can tell you, nah, don't do that one, get this one. This one work better for you. Just like she said, networking and asking individual questions. The way I was raised, the way I grew up, people older than me always tell me, don't talk to them people. Like, if you don't know them people, don't talk to them. Because you don't need to be going around just talking to people. And that was so farther from the truth. The people that you know that's in your circle now, those are not the people that's going to change your life. It's a stranger out here that you never met before. And that stranger is the person that's going to change your life. And the only way they change your life if you go up to them and talk to them. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable talking to someone else. A conversation with a person can do wonders for your mind and your pocket and your business.
Very, very true.
For real. So in the industry that you're in right now, towards the medical field, is there anyone that's in your industry that you could say, I admire that person. I want to build my business out the way that they built theirs. And who is that person if it is?
There's actually two ladies, but the first lady I came across a couple of years ago, I actually forgot her name, which is very But the first lady that I ran into, that my business partner actually introduced me to, her name is Sheila Michelle. She's based in Atlanta. She started off her drug testing business in spite of, like, her backstory is more of a sentimental one because it's close to her. But her backstory pivoted so much for me to think about how an industry, as we would think of it as something maybe so small, is actually very pivotal because now if you look at it, a drug testing business, Sheila Michelle, she basically inspired me with thinking about the drug testing industry and how lucrative it was before the height of COVID had hit. I considered it. Me and my business partner, we actually flew down to Atlanta for like a weekend, sat with her and like one other else person, and did a one-on-one with her directly. Got certified as specimen collectors and everything. So we have our certifications, are set up and everything.
Was she on Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
What's like just for their tech, like for their needs? Like, can you say an Instagram name so maybe if someone's trying to get into that industry, they can look up?
Yeah, of course. Is I am Sheila Michelle. That's Sheila Michelle. And again, she's a drug testing clinical lab business strategist and located in Atlanta. And she, works within the healthcare and DOT transportation industry. But she's definitely influenced me and many other women to look into the industry. Between her and there's another lady, actually three, that have influenced me within the industry. The other lady's name is Dr. Jessica Chung. She's another Black nurse. She has a healthcare professional background, and she has many nurses within her network. And she's been empowering others to also, start their point of care clinical businesses or even their own private practice businesses if you're in that healthcare route. So yeah, there's countless opportunities to start medical industries within those professions. When it comes to healthcare, because I am definitely a stickler on healthcare, and I tell people healthcare can be very, very strict when it comes to things. So don't think of it just only for the money.
Yeah.
You are coming into a field that you're dealing with people's livelihoods, safety, and health. So you got to think of those liabilities because in the opposite hand, you wouldn't want to join or attend a business that you wasn't fully functioning, and you know why would you want to come to a clinic that look
It's
kind of
half
crazy to
ass.
you? So you want to go to an establishment and somebody who's really professional about what they're doing. Anybody interested in those industries, or just even the thought, if you have family members who are within the health industry, it's a good thing to look at. There's a lot of information out there and a lot of things that we can create as a unit within even our communities to help them grow and just be better, because we know what our people want in those communities. And if we could build better services that deliver them, we can do it.
Facts. And that's some great information. So you gotta do nothing but take the time. You're already on Instagram anyway, so you gotta do nothing but take the time. If that's the industry that you're looking into, or you want to learn more about it, just take the time and go search through and see what they have to offer. I'm gonna actually drop Shanice's Instagram in the chat also, so she can give you information if you need to know something where you can ask her. But this is the part where I like to go inside your brain and like to see how you see different aspects of what it takes to be an entrepreneur. So if you had to define success, how would you define it in your own words?
Well, for me, in my personal opinion, success to me looks like my goals and accomplishments and the sense of peace and freedom for myself, and just being able to keyword buy back my time and being able to have as much free time as possible with my loved ones. That's where I counteract success. Some people may categorize success with wealth and money. That's always a bonus and plus too, but where your gratification and your sense of peace lies within you, I feel like that should count for where you feel like you've reached a successful point in your life. happy or satisfied with where you are. There's always a room for being more than satisfied, which is
Hmm.
cool because you don't want to be just hanging on by a string. That's you never
Yeah,
that
yeah,
path.
barely making. Right, because not everyone's success is considered a high dollar amount because
Yeah,
most people think success is having a lot of money, but I know a lot of people with a lot of money that ain't happy. So people viewpoints on that word, even though it seemed like it's a simple word to define, that's one of the reasons is I made it one of my questions because it's a simple word. It's one word that you know that you can ask 10 different people and everyone's definition is going to be different. That's very interesting to me because success accumulates to happiness. Because if you're successful in your life, that means you're happy, and it probably don't take hundreds of $1,000,000 to make you happy. That means you can be successful without accumulating that much money. So that's how you can carve out what industry do you want to go in. That's how you find out what you love too, because what you love might not make you $1,000,000. It might not make millions of dollars, but it's what you love to do. And if you can provide a lifestyle for yourself by doing what you love, do you actually need $1,000,000? I heard an interesting quote someone asked. He's like, how important is $1,000,000 to you? And then before they say, they'll say, oh yeah, it's very important. You
right.
say, all right, what if I say I can give you $1,000,000 today, but you gotta die Friday? Nah, you say, well, $1,000,000, your life is more important than $1,000,000, you know? So it's an eye opener to see because this culture that we're living in now, it makes everyone thinks that, oh, I earn six figures. Oh, I'm gonna be earning six figures. And they make that the bar to shoot for. But first, you can live a successful life and you ain't making a number 80,000 a year. ninety
Yeah.
thousand a year. You ain't got six figures, but you can be successful and happy. That's my viewpoint on it. But
Oh, one little takeaway that I thought about that people should know,
mhm,
especially as a younger entrepreneur, but especially anybody in the course of their life. One thing that I'm for sure still even working on myself,
mhm,
that I left out earlier to say, the most important thing also when it comes to becoming a next entrepreneur and just growing in your financial realm, budgeting, knowing how to handle your money, because some of us, a lot of us start off check to check. A lot of us, we don't start off in like those silver spoon sort of predicaments where,
yeah,
we got it. But even if you do got it, some people spend money frugalously and just be out here just blowing money left and right, you
mhm,
know, and that's careless spending, and you don't really want to go into that area because that could cause you a lot of trouble, especially on the business side. If you're just countlessly spending money, and you're not seeing no return, and
yeah,
that's sometimes what happens when you become to that point in stage of life. You spend money so frequently, you don't even know what you got left,
yeah,
and at the end of the day, like, you got to think of it. I tell people all the time, I don't have any kids yet, but when I have one or two, my kids become my priority. Whatever I do now is for them. God willing, whatever I create in my lineage, I pray that it will continue to replicate for them and their kids and their kids' kids. We really have to learn to budget ourselves better and, learn those small things on accounting and,
mhm,
talk to people in the banks. It's okay to talk to people in the banks and get a little financial advisor or whomever it is to help you, like, maneuver your money around and help you, how to budget things out and help you save a little bit better. I mean, we all know certain banks ain't all that. We ain't gonna get to the whole bank thing, but like, learn how to manage your money. If you can manage your money without having to have people, obviously banks and stuff like that, manage your money, then you know where your money is going at the end of the day, and you
yeah,
know how much money you got coming in at the end of the day. Really pencil and pad, just like my mom used to write it all out. You know what you spending, how much you got coming in, how much you can save, put it back. If you're really looking for retirements with six figures or whatever to pass off to yourself or to retire early, you got to start off somewhere with really,
yeah,
setting yourself up at a proper standpoint. Even if it's like $50, $100, $10 a day, or whatever it is, whatever you can afford, put aside.
mhm.
Um,
Know your
so,
numbers. Know your
mhm.
numbers. I started reading this book right here. Millionaire Next Door, and it's basically saying that like knowing your numbers, and most millionaires are not the millionaires that you know their name. The person that's living next door to you down the street, you'd be surprised. Those are the people that make up the most millionaires in this country, and they got that way by doing what she just said, budgeting, knowing what they spend, what's going out, and how much coming in. Never spending more than what you got coming in. And I always put some aside, learning to save, learning the 10% rule, basically. I can't think of the name of the rule, but it's basically the rule
Yeah,
of thirds. Like when you can't buy it 3 times, you don't need to be buying.
true.
So that's very important that she said that too. Like through this whole journey of growing within yourself and growing as an entrepreneur, growing as a businesswoman, like just growing. What would you say you enjoyed most about your journey?
Whew. I would definitely have to say meeting y'all and the family I end up,
Mm.
meeting as business partners. Yeah, not only I've gained y'all as business partners, but as like friends and people I could reach out to and just talk with. Y'all could
Mm-hmm.
just hit me up anytime. That sort of
Mm.
thing has made the biggest impact for me because, people go through cycles. People come in and out of your life. When you are able to make an impact with people or people make an impact on you, you leave a door open for people to be able to reach out to you and you to be able to reach out to them. So it's very important. And I love that I was able to really connect with you guys on a more sociable level. And I really still I call all y'all my family still. I haven't
Yeah.
seen y'all in a little bit, but I call y'all my family still.
Yeah.
It's very important that people, along your journey start to bring those people in who are really for you in your circle and keeping them close. Because again, your friend groups are going to change, and
Mm-hmm.
your business partner might be end up being your best friend. Who knows? But we all go through transitions and circles. But beyond throughout my journey, for sure, it's been an interesting one, and I'm very grateful for everybody I've met through Recession Proof amongst that journey. Like you guys have been amazing,
Facts.
and all y'all business stories have been amazing. And I see each and every one of y'all still progressing and shining how you are.
I like that too, because that's exactly, man, it inspired me when I see someone that I know winning, that it gets me excited because I know, hey, my blessing, hey, I'm next. You know what I'm saying? They winning, they right there in my vicinity. I talk to that person. I know that person personally. I know the work that they putting in. And I know that I'm working the same way that that person working. Hey, the Lord next door. Like you say, your circle changed, and it changed according to your mindset, like the
Mhm.
level of mindset that you had. That's what type of people you attract. And if you're on a mindset of leveling up, trying to grow and become better, you attract those people. So it gives you someone to bounce ideas off of, to understand that I'm not the only one going through this. I'm not the only one that needs understanding or needs information or stuck at this spot. You understand that, bro? It's people, and none of us are not from the same city or state. We from all over United States, and you see that, hey, people are building all over. So it teaches you patience because there's people that's above us that they started out a lot longer than what we started out. They've been doing it. So of course they're gonna be farther ahead because they got more time put in. But when you around those people that you see, like, okay, it was a reason that circle created itself, because we joined with a lot of other people, but it was a circle of, I would say, no more than 25 active people, really. So that circle weeded itself out to those 25 people. And when we was at the conference, all us got together. No one could never tell us that was the first time that we was actually seeing each other. It was real genuine. It was like a genuine connection with everybody. So I really enjoyed myself. So throughout this interview, is there anything that I didn't ask that you would like for me to ask?
Oh. No, I feel like you covered everything. I definitely I'm pretty much like an open book again. Like your viewers are welcome to ask me any questions they have, or if you have thoughts or want to randomly vent, I'm here. But yeah, like I believe you covered everything. Definitely will do
Thanks.
want to hear.
Thanks. So, Shanice, I want to thank you for coming on here with me again tonight. Like, man, I appreciate it. Appreciate you giving me your time, your effort. And if it's anything that I could do for you from now to here on to whenever, hey man, I'm just a text away, message away, and I promise I'll get on it however I need to get on it. But is there any other closing words you want to give, words of encouragement you want to give the people before we end it?
Yes, I definitely want to let everyone know that no matter what you're doing, the obstacles and things you may go through may be tough, but there's a light at the tunnel. Do not give up and continue to persevere and try hard as you can. You know, pray at the end of the day. There and always steadfast with faith and hope. You're gonna get through it. Just ask God to remove anything out of your way that for sure don't belong in that form of way, so that way your blessings can pour back into you, and those that deserve to be around you, and those things that are meant for you should be meant for you. But again, don't ever give up, no matter if it's a little longer process. It's okay. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was the San Francisco Bridge or China Bridge, and none of them other bridges that took forever. They weren't built in the day. Warren Buffett didn't get to where he is in life. I gotta use him because he's probably one of the most infamous and richest people out there. Those things weren't built in a day. So take your time, be patient with yourself, and be gentle, and always speak words of encouragement within yourself. But for sure, that's what I want to leave your viewers with this evening.
Thanks. Thank you. I thank you again for joining. I thank you for again coming on here with me. And I thank y'all again for joining and watching this episode. This was another episode of Likeable Figgas. I'm your boy Major Walla. This is my homie, my friend Shanice from Recession Proof and Axel Solutions. So I'm gonna drop it down in the description. Y'all wanna go check out on Instagram, go follow her page and see if she got any other information that she's sharing. Maybe you can soak up some game. If you're trying to get in the medical field, you want to learn something, this is someone you can bounce ideas off of. So go reach out. But thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if you get a chance, go watch some of the other videos. I'm going to tag one right here. But peace.